This is the plaintiff, Frederick Monroe. He says he's a handyman who did some work for the defendant in her new fancy house in a high-class neighborhood, and the woman's stiffing him on his pay. He has no idea why, since she came into a big $200,000 settlement, drives a big white Mercedes, but won't pay him the measly $160. Come on, he's suing for the 160 big ones. This is the defendant, Ann Appa. She says the plaintiff has done odd jobs for her for years and always pays him in cash when he's done with his work at the end of the day. He was scheduled one day to do some yard work, but canceled because he said it was too hot. For some reason, she thinks he still expects to get paid even though he didn't do any work. Sorry, buddy. That's not how life works. She's accused of looking for a free ride.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Frederick Monroe?
Yes.
You are suing Ann Appa for $160 in wages that you say she owes you and hasn't paid you. According to you, you're all paid up and you have no idea what he's talking about. Mr. Monroe, how did you meet Ms. Appa?
Well, I knew her for a few years, and I was one day doing some lawn work, I think.
How did you know her, though?
Through it was a small town we live in, Kingston. Okay. And I was doing some yard work, and she came by, and I waved at her, and she turned around, came back. She said, "Oh, hi." She says, I just got a house, up on the hill or wherever, and she says, "I need a lot of work done." She says, I ran into a lot of money, and money's no problem. So we discussed how much.
That's a heck of a way to negotiate. All right.
Yeah. I mean, with a white Mercedes, pulling up too, and I'm saying, yeah. So I said,
good. I'll have me some of that.
Yeah. So I discussed it. She asked me how much, about the pay. I said, well, if you could at least give me $100 a day, and I do anything from sun up to sundown, within reason. So I did that on 2 occasions. Like this week, I did it the next week.
What kind of work did you do?
Yard work. There was inside work. Mostly handyman work. Well, the first day was no problem. That week, she took me to the credit union. She gave me $100. So I went back the next week. Same thing. She took me to the credit union and gave me another $100.
When you say week, you mean one day of the week, right?
One day, yeah. So on the third, she didn't make it to the credit union in time or something like that. So I said, all right, she's good for it. She's been paying me, So time lapse.
How much time?
I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 days. So I go to her house and I knock on the door, early in the morning, and I vaguely see her on the side, right? But she's not answering the door. So I'm saying, oh, man. So I goes around to the back door, and I'm knocking. So she
What
finally...
time of the morning?
I don't know, 7:30, 8 o'clock. So anyway, she comes to the door or something. She says, what are you doing here? You waking my neighbors and so forth and so on. And so I said, well, are you supposed to pay me? She said, yeah. She said, well, come back another time or something. So I forgot about it. I said, well, the heck with it. So I'm out working again. I see her again about maybe, I don't know, a week later, 3 or 4 days later. So she says, hey, what happened to you? I said, what do you mean? I'm waiting on you. She says, well, listen, if you want to come back, I got some more work. I said, don't forget you owe me still. She said, I know, we'll talk about that. Never no one word was said. I go back that next day at work.
Why would you go back if she owed you money?
Well, I know she had money, so sooner or later she's going to pay me. She's been paying me.
That's what you assume, but apparently not. Look at how'd that work out for you. You're here suing her for it, so.
Well, maybe I can still get it.
Yeah, I understand, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Okay,
but I went beyond that. All right, but I goes back that next time at work, putting up shades, cleaning windows or something. I don't know what it was. And she gives me $40. So I was glad to get the 40. I ain't had nothing. So I goes on. I said, wait a minute. I'm going down, and file a claim. And here I am today.
What's going on?
Hi, Your Honor. Mr. Monroe and I met several years ago, and he had done plenty of work for me throughout the years. And he is right. I did buy a house, and I did ask him to do, some of the tasks that needed to be done. He would come. We would agree on a price. He would do the work, and I would pay him, and that was it.
So it wasn't $100 a day?
I don't really recall what, it was per job. It was this is years, I'm talking for years back. It would usually, if it was a day, it would
How long ago did you buy the house?
I don't know, 6 months ago now.
Okay, so that's not years back.
Yeah.
But in other
In the past,
apartments,
okay, but
yeah.
since you bought the house, how many times did you have him work for you?
I think twice.
And on those 2 occasions, was it supposed to be $100 a day?
No, the first one, I think I paid him about $75, and the second one, he hung 4 blinds, and I paid him $40, and that was it. That was it.
So if the handyman doesn't agree on how much he gets before he does the work, does he get any money at all?
Yeah, I think they should both agree on it, though.
But they didn't agree on it. So now that they didn't agree on it and the work is done, does the handyman get any money?
Yes, but the person...
How much money does he get? Does he get some of it? Does he get, what does he get? How do you figure out how much he gets?
Probably only some, because it's the fault of him that he didn't, discuss it before.
Fair enough. Boy, I had to pull that out of you, didn't I?
Yeah, but the guy that's done the work wants all the money.
But does he get all the money?
No, it probably ends up in a small claims tribunal.
And in the small claims tribunal, does he get some of it? Does he get all of it?
He'd get what's fair and reasonable.
Fair and reasonable. Okay, that sounds fair and reasonable. Going inside the courtroom.
Did you have an agreement with him beforehand about how much you would pay him?
No, it was just generally whatever he did. You know.
Yeah, but how about if you both didn't agree on what should be paid?
He always agreed. I guess.
So then why do you think we're here? Apparently not.
Apparently
really... you're not right. And how did that work out for you? Not very well. I mean, shouldn't there be, if I understand that with a handyman, you're not going to sit down and write a contract every day, but shouldn't there be some understanding beforehand of what you're going to pay somebody?
Yeah, we would talk about, for instance, the blinds. It was 25 minutes. So I said $40.
And that's what you said to him before he hung up the
Yeah,
blinds?
and he was fine
Or
with
after
that.
he hung up the blinds?
Before.
And so if he's so fine with everything, what do you suppose is the reason that he came to court to sue you over $160 he says you owe him?
I don't know.
Well, see, you got to give me a reason, okay? You can't just say, I deny it. That's not, I need to understand, maybe there's a reason why he's lying. I don't know, but.
I mean, I know he needs money. I guess that, like you said, he said that I have money. I don't have all this money.
I don't care if you have money and he doesn't have money. That doesn't mean your money has to go to him. But I'm having some difficulty with your testimony only because I'm not sure why somebody in his position would make it up when he's got a good client.
I guess in his mind, he thinks that I do owe him. But he never came back.
He says that you didn't pay him at all for one day's work, and that you only paid him $40 when you're supposed to pay him $100 for the other day's work.
No, I paid him $40, and I told him when.
What about that other previous day? Did he go to your house at 7:30 in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. Why does a person go to your house unless you owe them money?
I think actually it was to come to work, and I did go, and I said, listen, it's 7:30 in the morning. Don't come here at 7:30 in the morning. Come back at 9 o'clock.
Someone came to your house and you threw them out because they were coming to report. Let me see if I got this straight. A contractor's come into your house early and you say, go away. That'll be the first time that's ever happened.
Well,
someone's
Your Honor,
coming to your house early to do work.
You have to understand.
So you know he's there, you know the shades are going to go up, you're already up, you're at the door.
Well, you have to
And it's not
understand.
to collect money like he said.
Okay, so let me tell you.
I just want to tell you something.
Okay, can I tell you?
No, you cannot. In every single case before me, I have one job, and it's to figure out who is telling me the truth. So, people constantly ask me, how do you do that? Sometimes it's blatant, and sometimes it's subtle, like what just happened right now. When I'm sitting here on the precipice, I'm trying to figure out which way I'm falling, okay? I have to have a reason in my head why it is that he would all of a sudden sue you, okay? In your answer to the complaint, you actually say, I think he liked me, okay?
That was part of it.
I think he liked me. I was a dentist trying to pull your teeth for the last 5 minutes, and you didn't mention that.
I tried.
Let me
wouldn't
tell
let
you,
me.
no, not right now you tried, once you heard that I was ruling. But see, what does that tell me? That tells me, by the way, do you like her?
No.
Okay, so what does that tell me? That tells me maybe you're not quite comfortable saying that in court, but let's put that to a side. I just asked you, why would somebody knock on your door at 7:30 in the morning unless they're angry and they want to collect their money? And you throw them off your property. And I don't know why he came. Oh, wait, yeah, he came in court in order to work. That's it. I'm knocked over to the side that I have to be on. This is not a criminal case. It's not beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. It's just what's more likely than not. Mm-hmm. And you just gave me the what's more likely than not. $160 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So then the question is, you've got this imprecise science of how much to give somebody when there's no deal. The fact is, common sense, especially in small claims court, common sense is one of the most powerful things a judge has going for him or her. That is the way judges decide simply what's reasonable.